Hi, folks, this is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown.
As a first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse documents, and in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam.
You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Yes, we will take care of it. I hope my voice is coming through clear to everybody tonight. And I hope everybody's had a good day today. And we'll be looking forward to a good week to come. And a good week after this. And after that, boom weeks coming up. Ongoing boom weeks. So let's see who's here. We got a bunch of people here. Says my transmission is Sissy's here. Doc is here. Sherry. Sandy. Robin. Nice to see you. Wayne's here. Hey, did you give me a thumbs up, Wayne? Hi, Mark. How you doing? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, Linda. Ha ha. Everybody that's here. Rubber Toes here. Nice to see you. I got 5x5. Good. Hi, Todd. David's here. All right. So I might leave that picture of Trump. I might have to get a screenshot of that and leave that as a background. I didn't realize that how I could use that as a thumbnail too. Anyway, on my thumbnail, you see JFK in the last moments of his life being held by his wife, Jacqueline Onassis. Here is the shot that I have on the thumbnail that I put all will be revealed on there. And you see it's frame number 312. And you see President Kennedy clutching his throat. Jacqueline staring at him, was trying to see what is wrong. You see John Connolly falling back into his wife. It was a moment I picked in the Zapruder film, Zapruder. Look it up if you want to find out more. That I thought was poignant because it showed in the limousine. But I tell you what, the frame before that, quite a bit before, frame 278, you see he's already been struck in the neck. You see Jacqueline looking at Connolly, Connolly looking back like, what's wrong? So those questions may be answered as what happened? What was the sequence? How did things go? How did they come about? So they say we got to wait for the National Archives to review the order. And what do we know about the National Archives? I know what I heard Mr. T say about them. Apparently they had some Marxist influence in there because they helped to cause the raid on the Mar-a-Lago home. So there's going to be a comeuppance. We'll see how it goes. Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? Kathy's here. Let's see. Flannel Cheese. Nice to see you. So Trump has put out, the Trump administration has put out even more executive orders concerning people in the government that are planning to do other than what the president wants. I'll put it that way. It's called subversion. They want to subvert him as far as his elimination of DEI programs and funding of DEI programs. They want to subvert him in his ability to remove illegal aliens, among just about anything that he's signing executive orders for. So we'll see how far they take it. We'll see what kind of trouble they get themselves in. Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Ha-ha, and hit the share button. Yeah, the more the merrier. So anyway, where to begin? Where to begin? I tell you what, this might bring you down a little bit, but what the heck? This gentleman here put a video up about a illegal, okay? And, you know, it's having to dance around these words like illegal alien versus undocumented immigrant, that grade school game is going to come to an end. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's somebody talking about, what do they want us to call them? New neighbors.
This Venezuelan migrant recently went on a live stream to tell us about some of the... No one will remove us from here, not even Trump will get us out. Then she says, you know, I've been suffering from, I've been having dental issues. So I had surgery, recently. And they held were far away, unfortunately. Then here she says, I'm in New York. I want to leave New York, but I don't have my papers yet. It's nice here, but working without papers, it's horrible. I'm desperate, to be honest. Then she keeps communicating with the comment section and she says, I'm fairly new. I've been here for only 6 months. Only 6 months since I got here. And then someone asked her, wow, what about your nails? How much were they? She says it was $50 to get them done. But this was maintenance, and that was an additional $30. Oh, it's only a 6-month free hotel stay. No big deal. An average hotel room for a migrant costs around $350 a night. That means that she's been getting roughly over $60,000 worth of hotel accommodations. When was the last time that any of you received a 6-month hotel freebie? I hope President Trump does the right thing.
Yeah, you come here and you get your teeth fixed. Get your nails done. Get $60-some thousand for a living expenses. And anyway, this is a Babylon Bee here thing you might. With border closed, this red rummer now forced to do all his red rumming in Mexico. I hate to bring you all down with that last video, and I don't know if she's with child or not, or she's with like 27 tacos. I don't know. But if she is with child, we got this resistance from some black robe rebel in Seattle trying to quash the Trump administration's executive order to clarify the meaning of birthright citizenship. So already they're starting with their lawfare, and I hope that, it looks bad to some degree, but it needs to be done in other degrees. Some of these judges need to be removed, and we got to find out how far they're going to push it. How far are they going to push it? So anyway, here's a couple of clips from when Trump was on Hannity. I'm not sure which one's first, but I'll just go ahead and play them. I call Hannity the great interrupter. STHU Hannity. Shut the hell up, Hannity. But anyway, he always interrupts. But anyway, here we go.
Will you investigate these assassination attempts? And you stated that you will release the files, all of the files, as it relates to the desk.
Yeah, that's right.
This is where John Kennedy, little John Kennedy.
It's a movable door.
Yeah.
It's a little door there. That's where John was.
John, yeah. And Martin Luther King Jr., and that you will be transparent. This was going to happen in the first time.
So many people have asked me to do that. And I did it with Kennedy to an extent. Right. But I was asked by some of our government officials not to. And, you have to respect them. I was actually asked by Mike Pompeo, who's Secretary of State, not to. And I felt he knew something that maybe, when he asks you not to, you sort of say, why? And he felt that it was just not a good time to release him. And you might ask him why. Maybe he'll deny that even. But he did. He asked me. And some others also, though. They didn't want the Kennedy stuff released.
Okay, well, the order is out to get it released. And what is y'all's thoughts on their reports about Mike Pompeo having his Secret Service detail removed? And a lot of people think, oh, he's in big trouble. He's going to get arrested and all this. Well, Trump addressed it prior to my broadcast, said you don't get that kind of protection for the rest of your life if you've never been a president or vice president. And once it was made certain that there was no official place for Pompeo to be in the administration, he doesn't qualify for that. But anyway, here's an interview with Pompeo and John Stossel, all right, concerning the declassification of JFK.
Why'd you fight to keep the JFK files secret?
Because I was trying to keep Americans safe. And by the way, don't paint with too broad a brush. 99.6% of the JFK files are public today.
But it was 60 years ago.
John, not everything was 60 years ago. And I don't want to spend a lot of time walking through this, but suffice it to say, the definition of a document covered by this statute that you're referring to, it's a little bit wonky, but suffice it to say, if Congress holds a hearing tomorrow on the Kennedy assassination, the documents generated tomorrow will be part of those files. Those would be tomorrow, they'd be 60 seconds old, not 60 years old. And last thing I'll say is there are things that happened 60 years ago that are still important to keep in the vault. There are lots of things that happened that long ago that still are appropriate not to release. Think of names and addresses and families. And by the way, there's also no value in them. These don't hold the dark secrets that everybody wants to just hold up as the bogeyman. I saw the UFO files too. We've got bigger problems. In America, lots of bigger problems. Just because something is kept secret, why not go to the darkest corners? But it's a lot of fun. I'm happy to go there with you if you'd like.
I'm no expert in this, but it just makes no sense to me the 60 years ago that there are things in there
Sure.
Like,
sure.
Hypothetically, just for example.
Imagine you had an operative operating somewhere in the world who was 20 years old at the time they were doing that work. 60 years ago puts them at 80 today. Average lifespan of an American male, something in that range. Yeah, you should keep their identity secret.
But this was the Kennedy assassination in America.
Right, exactly. Precisely right. Remember what the scope of these files is, John. The scope of these files isn't reduced to just what was happening inside the United States government. The scope of these files is legion. Anything that was talked about in the course of, there were hearings in the 90s, there were hearings in the 2000s, they ran far afield around the world. Anything that was part of those files is included in this. And so I had a chance to see not all of those documents, but most of them. The news value of them is grossly overrated, and the desire to keep them secret, the motivation, the rationale for keeping them secret is wholly justified. I think we released, I can't remember on our watch, 140,000, 180,000 pages of those documents while I was the CIA director. Totally appropriate to do so, and as time goes on, we should do our best. The most important reason to do it is because everybody out there talking about these things will get to see that there's less there than meets the eye. I'll leave it at that.
So, yeah, I see what you're saying in the chats. He doesn't seem to be a good person. We shall see. We shall see. If it's so innocuous and unsurprising and a bunch of nothing, why keep it hidden? Why keep it hidden? And I understand about the people still being alive and things of that nature, but that's not an issue anymore, is it? So we're going to talk about Trump going to Davos electronically, okay? And giving them what for, giving Bank of America what for, disclosing that the Saudi government now is going to be putting upwards of $1 trillion, $500 billion to start. And I was talking last night how people are going to be shocked how much money comes our way simply by demanding it, okay? They want access to our resources. They want to play in our sandbox. Historically, they always had to pay, no free rides. But somehow, Marxist influences got it in a jujitsu move, got it to where they come in our country for free, take all our wealth over to Europe and Asia, plus tax our eyeballs out of our heads and sprinkle that money around all over the world. And then you put on top of that slush funds, bribes, outright theft. It's a wonder this country's been able to continue on as it has. So Pete Hegseth is, his vote's going to be delayed. His vote's going to be delayed. But it will happen. We got Republicans backstabbing, but here we are getting into the old way of doing things. I said the other day that there were in-laws. Oh, who would really love to have their in-laws that are angry at them show up for a hearing? But anyway, let me play this little clip for you.
For the first time, who spoke directly with Samantha Hegseth during the time in which she was married to Pete Hegseth. I'm talking about Danielle Hegseth. She's the former sister. Says in this copy of this affidavit, a redacted version, quote, I have chosen to come forward publicly at significant personal sacrifice because I am deeply concerned by what Hegseth's confirmation would mean for our military and our country. She adds that part of her reason, and this is so significant, Chris, for coming forward is because I have been assured that making this public statement will ensure that certain senators who are still on the fence will vote against Hegseth's confirmation. But for that assurance, I would not subject myself or others referred to in this statement to the public scrutiny this statement is likely to cause.
So anyway, let's see what kind of bear traps they have set. Here's something somebody posted right here. I'm going to jump over to the Elon controversy. Elon giving the aid. I posted this on YouTube. I went ahead and grabbed a screenshot. There's Hillary giving the high five, so to speak. But anyway, here's a young lady. Where is she at? Here she is. That gave a response to this that I thought you all would enjoy listening to. And it shows you that our young people aren't all screwed up. A lot of them got their heads on right.
If you are someone who truly believed that what Elon Musk did was a Nazi salute, you are not intelligent enough to be in politics, nor should you be sharing your opinion online. If anything, we should all be pointing and laughing at you, because if you truly believe that he did that, then you truly believe all these Democrats did one as well. So why weren't you outraged about it then? Oh, because you knew that wasn't what they're doing. The same way that when Elon Musk makes a statement saying from my heart to yours and does that motion, you know he's not doing a Nazi salute. You're just so angry that you lost. You're so angry that America woke up and is tired of the leftist bullshit that you've been pushing upon us for so long. So you're trying to say and do anything that will make people second guess themselves now supporting the right. And it's not working. You're showing the world what an absolute clown you are. Donald Trump recently won a defamation lawsuit against ABC for $15 million. I want people to understand how hard it is for somebody of that level of fame to win a defamation lawsuit. Not only do you have to be able to prove that they lied, but you have to be able to prove so that they did it with bad intent towards you, that they purposely made a story up to make you look bad. And he was able to prove it. And then you wonder why people sit here and say fake media, say that they don't trust the news anymore because they lie to you. And this is not anything different. If anything, I honestly feel really bad for Elon Musk. Not that I agree with necessarily everything he says, but people forget that this man is a diagnosed autistic man. There are going to be certain tics and behaviors and speech patterns that he has that other people aren't going to understand. As somebody with autism myself, I can attest to this. There's a lot of times where I think I'm being perfectly normal and nobody else does. So it's really sad to me to see the media vilify him for things that literally are just symptoms of autism, and people sit there and they think that it's funny. No, he gets excited, he stims, he has certain vocal patterns. He's going to be a lot more blunt than most people would ever be, and that's something that I appreciate, but a lot of people don't. They want to be lied to, they want to be sugar-coated. But this was not a Nazi salute. This was a sad attempt at the left. Out that well for them.
Ha ha ha! Good thing Donald Trump didn't shut down TikTok because a lot of young people are on there speaking their minds. Here, have you seen this one? Put that on Facebook. I guess everybody saw these guys gawking at, who was that, Jeff Bezos' wife? But anyway, let me see. Yeah, it's a smart girl, Jerry. How you doing? Let's see. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? I saw Ronald, let's see. Who did I see in here? Whoa. I'm just going through the chats real quick. Hi, Ronald. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Yeah. Well, they say we got to wait 45 days. We're going to continue to actively subvert Mr. T. Okay. Actively subvert Mr. T. Speaking of subversion, where'd that go? Wait a second. This is a short video. I'm sure you all remember this guy, right? Did he get pardoned? Does anybody know? He's the one who said he wanted Trump to stroke out and live the rest of his life suffering from the effects of a stroke. Remember how gross this person was? But anyway, let me play how he feels about the J6 pardons.
Thanks, America. This feels like a betrayal to you.
Oh, I have been betrayed by my country. Rest assured, I have been betrayed by my country, and I've been betrayed by those that supported Donald Trump. Whether you voted for him because he promised these pardons or for some other reason, you knew that this was coming, and here we are.
He's been betrayed. I think he's on some kind of disability check or something like that. That may have been his reward. I don't know. But anyway, getting back to the situation with Hegseth. Look here, Dustin Grage put this out. This chick was at St. John's Episcopal Church in Minneapolis for almost 2 decades. Guess who was in charge of planning for the inauguration? Senator Amy Klobuchar. Yeah, it was a setup. Remember, folks, I was saying, this wasn't an accident. Somebody had to knowingly make a scene. And I was saying, who is in charge of this stuff? Well, it didn't take very long for the internet to let us know who would be in charge. Who is in charge? Amy Klobuchar. Here's something interesting. Putin was giving an address. And I didn't see this reported anywhere in the Western news. Putin left the meetings because, quote, there was a need to conduct an international telephone conversation, unquote. He said he would step away for 5 minutes. He did not specify who he was talking to. This happened at a meeting of the supervisory board of the Agency for Strategic Initiatives. I wonder who he would get up and interrupt a meeting and go speak with on an international call. Well, I would say the number one choice, of course, would be Trump. But you also got Kim Jong-un, and then you have President Xi. Okay? But just so you know, things are happening. Things are happening. Oh, yeah, that's right, Sherry. I got a story on that, too. She's harboring people in her church. I put that up yesterday, didn't I? That she was harboring people. Did you hear Trump get on Bank America for discriminating against conservatives? Well, they put out a statement immediately after, and he said that during the Davos meeting, right? A lot of people said they didn't see Klaus Schwab there, the usual suspects. Trump's much too busy, okay, dropping the hammer here at home and going ahead and putting things together that's going to fix Davos's little red wagon. But anyway, Bank of America serves more than 70 million clients, and we welcome conservatives. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, right. We would never close accounts for political reasons, and we don't have a political litmus test. Okay, let's hear you tell it. Let's hear you tell it. This was something I had yesterday, but didn't get a chance to put it up. Actually, I might have had this for a couple of days right here. Remember this scene, don't you, folks? And the guy on the far right with the sunglasses. Sean Caron, who covered him during an assassination attempt last summer at a rally in Pennsylvania as director of the U.S. And I was going to talk about this the other day, but you all know Bongino has been battling cancer, right? You know he met with Trump. He's been out of the game for quite some time. He hasn't been in the mix, and his health has not been good. Being rusty, he's got his podcast, which he would have to give up, and he would have demands and mental strain put on him just simply by trying to get up to speed and being involved with people he's not familiar with. He doesn't know who the backstabbers are. He doesn't know who the good people are. I think he was offered the position and graciously declined. Probably recommended this fellow. He proved his fearless courage when he risked his life to save mine from an assassin's bullet in Butler, Pennsylvania, Trump wrote on Truth. In the agency, active in the agency, a top level agent. That's who you want to go in for you. He proved his loyalties. He was right there for Trump, bullets or no bullets. So, if we get any lefties, lefties are welcome. Oh, I took down my Hillary picture. I want to keep that up. I'll put it back up in a second. Look at what's going on in California. They say it's up to 10,000 acres now, for all the green bean crowd, the greenies. Oh, save the environment and drive a car that doesn't use fossil fuels. Oh, save the smelt. Well, I'll say it again. Look at, this is one fire out of thousands around Los Angeles. Look at what it is spewing out in just a picture frame moment. Never mind the hours and hours and days it's going to burn. Okay? I'm going to take my estimate up to, if you ran every economy car in the entire United States for 100 years, you wouldn't get the amount of filth and smoke that's been coming up in the air in this latest catastrophe with the LA fires. Never mind all the other fires in California over the last 10 years, like clockwork. What is the matter with these people? Why don't they use their damn brains? Thousands of California residents burns out of control in the Castaic area northwest of Los Angeles. CNN reports conditions there are critical due to the abundance of dry, grassy hills. Winds are expected to peak across Southern California today, which was yesterday. At present, the fire is only 14% contained. So, yeah. Act like you got some brains in your head. And let me get Hillary back up. I'll leave that up there like a trophy. Let's see. Bongino knows a lot. Oh, yeah, he covered Hillary, no bummer. Yeah. Oh, he'll be helping. I'm sure he has a role, David. Hi, Miss Mindersu. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Davos. Oh, yeah. That's where freedom goes to die. But Trump is going to straighten him out. He didn't pull any punches today. I mean, he put it out there plump and plain. And forget electric vehicle mandates. People are going to be able to choose whatever that suits them best, whether internal combustion or electric or both or hybrids. Quit screwing around with conservatives. Let me take that down. And I'm going to put her right over here. There you go, Hillary. Center stage for Hillary. We can't forget Hillary. What have you all heard about this character here? Look at this. This is from the Eastern News Services. I have a report from Andy No, I believe it was, or Citizens Free Press about this person. Okay? He committed a school pew-pew. Hi, Tracy. Hi, MS Motorsports. A school pew-pew, and look at him. Now, I didn't write this article. This is from the Eastern Bloc of Europe News Services. There he is wearing that NAZI helmet, just like the person that was in the video by that young lady who committed the last notorious pew-pew. And the picture on the right showing a tile floor tells me he did what everybody else was doing, going into the restroom, changing his clothes. Footage from Nashville. I thought it was Kentucky. Sorry. Nashville. A black exclamation point. Alt-right NAZI committed to school pew-pew. 2 students were unalived. And the 17-year-old shooter committed you-know-what-aside. His 300-page online manifesto was later discovered, in which he posted a slew of photographs, praised Adolf, and spoke out against people of color. Isn't that something? Bizarre. How bizarre is that? Let me see if I can find the other report on him. If I come across it, I'll put it up. Let me see. This is Lisa Murkowski, who voted to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson, announces she will not vote to confirm Pete Hegseth. You know, she has got some crazy eyes, man. Now, I didn't go back in the archives and pull up that photo from our 17th letter where Dianne Feinstein has got her hand on the wall and standing in front of Lisa Murkowski. Were threats made? Was a phone present? I don't know. Trump's in the kind of mood where I think we're going to. Fox News discusses Wall Street Journal report about being used for gain of function. Can you say Dr. Fauci? If Trump's team follows this trail, they will end up in Ukraine at Hunter Biden's Meta and then Biota with virologist Nathan Wolfe. Remember that name, folks. Nathan Wolfe. Where will the roads lead? To Nathan Wolfe and who's the other one? Victoria Nuland? Dr. Fauci himself, right? Where is that one I had where Putin is rumored to be saying, here we go, demanding Fauci extradition for crimes against humanity as part of a Ukraine deal, peace deal. How true do you think that is, folks? I've heard from several different people. I think it's 100% true. And I want to remind everybody, 11.4, treaties of the United States of America. Can a U.S. president pardon somebody for crimes against humanity? Can he pardon somebody in violation of a treaty with another country? Treaties that Putin was describing when he met with Donald Trump in Helsinki, where he said we have a mutual agreement to work together to bring people to justice that commit crimes on each other's territory. That includes extradition, cooperations and investigations, things of that nature. Is Fauci going to be immune from that? I don't think so. Because, you know what I'd find interesting? If they took a look at Mr. T. I guess you all heard the contents of the letter. I might have a video about that. We'll see, about the contents of Joe's letter. But all the activities that Joe Biden has done, couldn't they have a handwriting analysis? Couldn't they have witnesses? When do birds sing, right? Executive grant of clemency. Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America. Oh, is that true, Joe? So, to all whom these presents shall come. I used to type that on pleadings with the court. It would say to all men to whom these, but that's old school stuff now. But anyway, James Biden, Sarah Jones Biden, Valerie Biden Owens, John T. Owens, Francis W. Biden, a full and unconditional pardon for any non-violent offenses against the United States which they may have committed or taken part in during the period of January 1st, 2014 through the date of this pardon. But anyway, here's the alleged signature of Joseph Robinette Biden. And we have that letter from Mr. T. We got all kinds of stuff that Joe is issue. But we have heard, let me see if I have that. Hannity, I think, was talking with Trump. Which was the last one I played? Might be this one here. Let me see. I think this is the one where he talks about Biden. Sean Hannity, the great interrupter.
Joe Biden ran and said he would never do preemptive pardons. It was an issue that came up when you were leaving your first time.
He heard that I was going to do it. I didn't want to do it. I was given the option. They said, sir, would you like to pardon everybody, including yourself? anything wrong. And we had people that suffered. They're incredible patriots. We had people that suffered. You had Bannon put in jail. You had Peter Navarro put in jail. You had people that suffered. And far worse than that, they've lost their fortunes. They've lost their nest egg, paying it to lawyers. And those people, and people said, and they wouldn't have even taken, most of those people, they wouldn't have even taken a pardon. This guy went around giving everybody pardons. And you know, the funny thing, maybe the sad thing, is he didn't give himself a pardon. And if you look at it, it all had to do with.
Yeah, the sad thing. So that's still, there's something there that's going to happen. Something there that's going to happen. You know, I had a clip of Mr. T that I wanted to play at the beginning. But I'll play it. Let's see if I can find it. I'll play it if I come across. Here we go. No, that's not it. Wait a second. Well, if I come across it, I'll play it. But I wanted to put it in with my intro, and it would be nice if I had an editor, but I don't. I'm by myself. Slugging it out. But let's see. Oh, here's one that I think you all will find interesting. There's 3 pictures of Mr. T. Let me make sure I get all the print in there if there's any print. I think this is about all the executive orders that he signed. Let me see how big that print is that comes up with it. Yeah, there's a big list for you. You can come right to this point, 47 minutes and 30 seconds roughly, if you want to get a breakdown and share it with your friends. Haha, this is pretty neat right here. Wait a minute. Did y'all see this yet? Talk about something being brief. Baronzilla. Baronzilla waving at fans. But anyway, now let's see how much trouble I can get in. They say that with Trump's signing these executive orders, that platforms like this, you may have seen the censorship being addressed. Okay? So I want to play Javier Milei, okay? You have to read it because he speaks it in his native language, but there is good translation at the bottom of the screen. He's at the Economic Forum after Donald Trump came by. And boy, tell me what you think of what he let everybody at Davos know.
Promueve la agenda LGBT, queriendo imponernos que las mujeres son hombres y los hombres son mujeres solo si así se autoperciben. Y nada dicen de cuando un hombre se disfraza de mujer y mata a su rival en un ring de boxeo, o cuando un preso alega ser mujer y termina violando a cuanta mujer se le cruce por delante en la prisión. Sin ir más lejos, hace pocas semanas fue noticia en todo el mundo el caso de 2 americanos homosexuales que enarbolando la bandera de la diversidad sexual y fueron condenados a 100 años de prisión por abusar y filmar a su... Claro que cuando digo abusos no es un eufemismo, porque en sus versiones más extremas la ideología de género constituye lisa y llanamente abuso infantil. Son pedófilos. Por lo tanto, quiero saber quién avala esos comportamientos.
Yeah, he put it out there plumb and plain, and they had to sit there and listen to it. And I see what you're saying about, ouchie. Hi, Mac, how you doing? With ouchie, hi, Tammy, let's see. Tank, how you doing? Listen, there's more than one country than Russia involved, okay? That's why I'm thinking that a pardon of Dr. Fauci exceeds the presidential powers when there's international grievances. China wants to know what was going on, what was being sent, okay, over to their country out of the BIO labs in Ukraine, whatever government is formed there after the conflict is going to want to know. So you got China, you got your UCRISL, and then you have Russia. And on top of that, the information that comes out, if it turns out that, just like Rand Paul said, gain of function means BIO weapon, okay? And a lot of countries were hurt. You don't know who's going to get involved. That's the key. You don't know who's going to get involved. Anyway, here's a clip I wanted to play at the beginning. I found it. I want to play this at the beginning along with the JFK stuff, but I'll go ahead and play it now. Now, you'll be seeing this clip several times in the future.
I went through 4 years of hell by the scum that we had to deal with. I went through 4 years of hell. And I won, but I did it the hard way. It's really hard to say that they shouldn't have to go through it also. It is very hard to say that.
4 years of hell because that's scum. Okay, we're going to play it however many times it needs to be played. Did you hear about this story? About a caseworker, okay? A caseworker. I'll play it. You guys, let me know if you've heard it already.
Helps refugees from Afghanistan get resettled into Michigan. Investigators in Oakland County say he was attacked in his own home in Orion Township Wednesday.
Well, it's terrible. I mean, obviously the person is trying to do their job, which is to help that person assimilate, and for whatever reason, this is the reaction he got.
Sheriff Mike Bouchard says a refugee helped by the caseworker somehow tracked down the caseworker's home address on Red Root Road, showed up, and stabbed them repeatedly, putting the victim in the hospital in critical condition.
We don't know specifically what his complaint was or his motive was, because the individual that was attacked is in surgery as we speak. He was stabbed multiple.
So they got to wait till the person hopefully recovers. Critical condition. An Afghan they were helping, which I'm not too crazy about that. But you don't want something like this to happen to a person, of course. And so that shows you again the evilness of doxing people. You never know what's going through somebody's head, what can happen to you. You can't have any peace at home. So that's why I'm glad they cracked down on that doxing stuff. I've got one here with Mr. T. Did I play this already? Let me see. Yeah, I already played this one. Huh? That's okay. Let me see who's here. Hi, Cola. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, it'd be nice if they gave out you to Russia. I'll play this fella here is always good for give you something to cogitate on right here. Senator Kennedy. Let's see what he's got to say. Maybe he'll give us a little bit of a laugh.
You served in Washington for years. You're going to be called. You're going to be challenging the status quo. You're going to be called crazy. Many people also called Noah crazy. And then the rains came. And all the fact checkers died. You have to persevere.
The rains came and all the fact checkers died. Yeah, that's the truth, ain't it? Anyway, I'm going to play this one in case my stream gets weak. Okay, this is a preview. Now, if they hit me with any kind of copyright or just a brief little, there's one of our new neighbors. See how nice he is?
I'm not going back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about with a copyright. That's what I'm talking about with a copyright. So I cut the music off because it goes on for a little bit and focuses on our face. But here is the, in case you all haven't seen it, and I'll put my 2 cents in here and there. There's the same guy. And here's a report on what's going on in Boston and other areas. Listen to who this guy thanks. He's so thankful to be here.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
So, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man who after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
Collateral damage. So they said Guatemalan, Haiti, El Salvador, I forget what all. But we're seeing a hodgepodge. But did you hear him say that the one character was let out of jail in defiance of the detention orders from the Department of Justice? There was a memorandum put out that said that they have to report these detentions immediately. And if they don't, they better have a damn good reason. And they have to report their reason immediately. Anybody who is operating outside of Department of Justice guidelines is going to be investigated and prosecuted. Okay? So anyway, let the video, that Haitian guy, he got arrested 17 times, okay? Thank you, Obama, is what he said. Thank you so much, Joe Biden. Obama, thank you.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our community.
Well, yeah, I saw that, Todd, where 3 Chileans went into that quarterback's home and it got arrested. But I can't download that many videos. I would never get up in time to do a broadcast. But, yeah, how many countries have we heard of? From everywhere. They're from everywhere.
But we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, shortly after we finished filming, ICE Boston told us they arrested 2 more targets in other parts of town away from our cameras. One of those targets is a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested for raping a woman while putting a gun in her mouth. The other target they got is a Haitian man who first flew into the United States in 2023 as part of President Biden's controversial migrant flights mass parole program. Well, they just picked him up yesterday because he's been arrested locally for sexual assault. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Malhusian, it was fascinating to watch all of that. I think I was just saying to Bill, this is terrible for Joe Biden and the legacy that he tried to leave behind. A question from me, how soon will they actually be leaving the country? Does that take a long time?
It depends what country.
It's not terrible for Joe Biden. What it does expose is how horrible the news agencies have been in reporting it. These crimes happen. Perpetrators' face, name, where they're from. They've been doing it for years, and that's criminal in my book. But now they're allowed to start talking about it.
Country they're from. If they're from cooperable countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, countries like that, it can be quick. It can be within days or weeks. If it's countries that are harder to deport, countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much, it can go into a process of months. But the Trump administration is changing policies with something called expedited removal. The bottom line is people at home don't need to understand all the policies. The Trump administration is just going to work as fast as they can to get all the people you just saw on camera there out of the country as fast as possible. They're also going to use their State Department, now led by Marco Rubio, to put pressure on countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much when it comes to those deportations.
Bill, just two points of clarification here. It seems a lot of these crimes are associated with sex crimes. I'm just looking at the list a bit earlier today. I don't know if that generally is the case or not. And second, if Boston's a sanctuary city, how are they allowed to do this? Because we told there would be resistance.
Boston doesn't have to cooperate with ICE, but there's nothing they can do to stop ICE from coming into their city and enforcing the law. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And that's the point ICE. They don't have to tell our officers when they're releasing somebody from jail, but we're going to do our job. We have our intel guys out in the field. We have people with eyes all over the place, and we're going to snatch those guys. So they can make ICE's job more difficult, longer, and more dangerous, but it's not going to stop ICE from doing the job, guys. The bottom line is ICE says it's safer for everybody involved if locals would just hand these guys over in jail once they're arrested, but they don't. They let them out onto the streets. They don't tell ICE about it, so ICE has to spend a lot of resources gathering intel, finding these guys, and then going out into the community to do arrests, which could be dangerous. You saw that combative Haitian man, and then you saw in the case of that one MS-13 member, his friend got snagged. They weren't even looking for him. They were looking for the MS-13 guy. They picked him up because a sanctuary jurisdiction released the MS-13 guy. ICE found him and then found the guy he was in the apartment with. They found out he was an illegal alien as well. So now he's going to be deported too.
Wow.
Amazing. Bill Bellusion, thank you so much.
Well, we've got these sanctuary governors acting up. We've got these judges making rulings that are absolutely ridiculous. And let me get Hillary off there. I'm going to leave this one up so everybody that tunes in will know what we've been talking about. And Hillary and her Adolf salute can go away. But anyway, at what point can Trump say, look, you all are frustrating and subverting, okay, the lawful operation of government? I'm talking about these governors with sanctuary cities, these judges, these prosecutors that are letting people go. We'll see how big that grows. Where's that one report I had? A judge. They say they kind of soft pedaled it in the video, but a judge's home got raided by the FBI. And what was he? He was an immigration advocate. Where the heck does that go? Well, if I come across it again, I'll put it up. But let me see if I can find that. While I'm looking for that, here's a question for you guys. I know Kash Patel and I know Dan Scavino. I believe they're in front of the Supreme Court. Am I right or wrong? As I look for it's just a little thumbnail picture that but who's that guy in the middle? And why? I wonder why Dan Scavino posted that. Do you all have any idea? Maybe I didn't put it in my library. I don't know. Any guesses in the is that the Capitol building? Television shows as the Capitol building. Who is that guy in the middle? Let me see. Who is he? Look at the face Dan Scavino's making. Oh, I think that's one of the J6 people that got let out. Oh, Durham's son, Devin says. Wow. Ha ha ha. Here he is. Here's the creepo right here. Central Falls judge resigns after FBI raids his Providence law offices. He was really a traffic court judge. He resigned being a judge after the raid, and he said the raid was very concerning. Yeah, right. But he's been working on immigration, okay, and naturalization. They say he was running some kind of a scam. But, yeah, that's John Durham's son. Whoa, we're getting an A-team together there, aren't we? Getting an A-team together. Look, here's something Citizen Free Press put up. I couldn't play it if I could, but there's a lunatic doing a TikTok. So maybe TikTok is helping us not only get our word out, but also weed out the lunatics. A leftist girl on TikTok wants President Trump to be inated. She'll be getting a visit soon for sure. There you go. She's saying, all right, my homies or whatever, get your 9s and your 38s together. You know what we got to do. We can't put up with this man in office. Yeah, keep that kind of talk up. What's this? Oh, this is part of another Another scam. Let me see. What is this? Elon Musk put this, commented on this. He commented true. And somebody named Cernovich put up, Epstein Island attendee Reid Hoffman funded a lawfare against Trump, said he wanted Trump to have been losing his life. This was a few days before the assassination attempt, and Sam Altman was a big fan of Reid. Elon Musk said true, saying very few people realize just how much Reid Hoffman did and spent to stop Trump from being reelected. It seems reasonably likely to me that Trump would still be in office without his efforts. Thank you, Reid. Well, he changed his tune, apparently. I think after he saw that true from Elon Musk. He said, watching POTUS more carefully recently has really changed my perspective on him. I wish I had done more of my own thinking and definitely fell into the NPC trap, non-playing character, NPC. Okay, different tune now. I'm not going to agree with him on everything, but I think he will be incredible for the country in many ways. A lot of these losers are at least faking to come around, that they're coming around. You know, I'm pretty sure this is the guy, this young man here. What's his name? Oh, they don't have it. Maybe it's up here. Oh, Reverend Lorenzo. I think he's the one that gave the prayer for Trump, and he's the one that used the term millimeter miracle, right? That creepy Bishop S. Okay? Reverend Lorenzo Sewell on woke bishop who lectured President Trump. She's a heretic. That's a good word for me to throw into my quiver of words that I put up many times. A heretic. Boy, ain't that the truth. Let's see, where did I leave off on some of these stories I was reading? We'll get some news. There's Putin. Any pause in hostilities must lead to immediate elections in Ukraine. Remember, I was talking last year how nobody on the left was saying a thing about Zelensky suspending the elections and pretty much being a dictator in Ukraine. This opinion was expressed on the pages of Newsweek by former advisor to Trump and J.D. Vance, Steve Cortez. He writes that Zelensky, quote, used the war to postpone the elections, and most of the Western world forgave this postponement. Putin didn't forgive it. But now, in 2025, with Trump taking office, an end to the fighting in Ukraine seems inevitable. But any pause in the fight, more lasting ceasefire, must lead directly to a long overdue elections in Ukraine. Is that going to happen after the truth comes out about the BIO labs, okay, about Fauci's involvement? Is the Russian government going to be able to put up a case and that will influence the Ukrainian election? At this point, Zelensky immediately becomes politically vulnerable as his previously broad popularity has been undermined. A war-weary public increasingly trusts his leadership and is increasingly suspicious of Ukraine's rampant corruption. The author writes of widespread credible allegations of corruption against Zelensky and his associates, including highly controversial Chief of Staff Andriy Yermak. Trump can help open a new chapter in Ukraine's history. a post-Zelensky era that will culminate in honest patriots, not dishonest kleptocrats. That's what we're dealing with, kleptocrats. Cortez adds, pointing out that former Commander-in-Chief Zelensky currently has the highest approval rating in Ukraine. So there's a little window in who might be the next president of Ukraine. Zaluzny. What's this one? Oh, here we go, folks. You guys are going to get a kick out of this one. All right. Look, that's John Sullivan, right? In the foreground. Okay. I think he's got some problems coming up with Mr. Durham, Sr., maybe even Jr., I don't know. But look who's looking at him. Look at the look he's getting. Trump's National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, has sent dozens of National Security Council staffers responsible for Ukraine, Iran, and North Korea home, suspending them from their jobs. This is staffers now. We know about the top dogs, but they're sending all the staffers home. The Washington Post newspaper writes about this. The officials known as aides or second staff were told in a brief conversation on Wednesday that they should, quote, leave and be in touch, the newspaper reported. They were instructed to return only if asked to do so by their superiors. It gets better. It gets better. The decision was so sudden that it left some officials unable to physically leave the White House complex because their badges stopped working, sources told the newspaper. As a result, Secret Service agents had to manually open the gates for those whose passes had been deactivated. That means get the hell out now and don't come back. You can't come back. And if you didn't take it out of your drawer, you got to leave it behind. Pack up your hush puppies now. Washington Post explains Waltz's decision by the fact that Trump's advisor decided to conduct a full review of all National Security Council employees regarding their position on issues such as the war in Ukraine and the nuclear programs of Iran and North Korea. See, we didn't get all this detail. They're throwing everybody out. And they're telling them, don't go too far, but don't come back unless we tell you to. They're going to go through all their computers, all their communications. What are they going to be looking for? Subversion. What are they going to be looking for? What kind of bad acts did they commit during the Biden administration when Biden didn't know whether it was coming and going? How many of them were around during the Trump administration and actively worked against Trump? This decision came after rumors emerged that he was planning to retain most of his staff, and one of Trump aides criticized him for doing so. The next day, Waltz posted on X that, quote, anyone serving under President Trump at the National Security Council will be fully aligned with his America First agenda. No more of this sneaking around, Vindman-style subversion. Okay, you're either on board or you're out the door. Hi, since then, everybody needs to really play hard for Mr. That's right. Well, I'm sure his security is highest ever. I mean, you got military intelligence. You know, we will not fail. We were told that in the 17 drops. 17 drops. Diamond and Silk, what do they have to say here this evening? I had a friend who always used to say that. What are you doing here this evening? What are you all doing here this evening? What? The what? This is harassment. Leave the J6ers alone. Just in. Far left DA. There we go. Who do you think helped get this district attorney in office? Georgie Porgy Sorioso, to bring state charges against Jay and then 6 prisoners. Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner is exploring ways he can bring state charges against Pennsylvania residents who were pardoned by President Trump. Boy, the hammer needs to drop on these people. The hammer needs to drop. This is case closed. They've been pardoned. On not just the DAs, but the judges that play along. I put this up because this is nice. Of Maria Bartiromo. Isn't it so great to know that we now have a real leader watching and protecting, knowing that real Donald Trump is watching and protecting our beautiful country and checking every corner. Who else feels more secure knowing that he's watching everything and everyone, and that America is treated right and can prosper and grow safely? Yeah, I think that's worth repeating, worth people thinking about it. I know Mr. T's got to be careful, but this stuff has been in the works for years. And in the first 4 years of Trump's presidency, they were making a list, checking it twice. That's why they're throwing so many people out on their ASS. A special New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew on his fight against large-scale windmill disaster off the southern coast of New Jersey. They must have just recently put them up. Because I was offshore in April of 2019 off of the Jersey coast. I didn't see any damn windmills. Those things are humongous. It needed massive government subsidy that was impossible to justify. Hopefully the project is dead and gone, as almost all unsightly, environmentally unsound windmill projects should be. Oh, they haven't even started putting them up, but they took a lot of money, I guarantee you that. Congratulations to the great people of New Jersey. You have finally won your war on stupidity. I heard a congressman today talking about how solar and wind mills were the cheapest form of electric. That idiot is not calculating in how many billions the government gives away to these companies. Okay? They don't get it in their electric bill, but it runs up the debt and it causes inflation. Anyway, this is Laura Loomer talking to Amy Klobuchar, the number 3 ranked Senate Democrat. Why is the Senate Democrat leadership slow walking Trump's nominees? Confirmation floor votes. We asked her this question as she walked in the confirmation hearing for Sean Duffy, who's been nominated to President Trump's cabinet as Transportation Secretary. Pete Hegseth was approved by the Senate Armed Service Committee on Monday, yet still doesn't have a floor vote scheduled. Biden has already received confirmation for his Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin by this same date 4 years ago. Senate Democrats are playing politics with America's national security. This is a complete disregard for the American people and our safety as a nation. Yeah. Get on them, Loomer. Scoop from Jack Posobiec. There is a smear campaign against any Trump appointee, remember this name, folks, who opposes endless war, being led by David Wormser, per White House official. So we'll have to call him David the Worm, all right? You can remember that, right? We'll see if we hear about him in the future, trying to screw things up. David the Worm worked for Cheney and Bolton in the Bush administration and helped manipulate intelligence to try to show Iraq had weapons of mass destruction and was supporting Al-Qaeda. Oh, there's some blasts from the past. And Citizen Free Press put this up. I cut off what they said at the top, but I can still read it. New York Times pays people a lot of money to write stuff like this. New York Times. How labeling cartel terrorists could hurt the U.S. economy. Give me a damn break. Isolating U.S. companies from cartel activities could be almost impossible, given that criminal groups operate in sectors like agriculture and tourism, leaving some American businesses vulnerable to sanctions. What the hell are we supposed to do? Just say, oh, well, we might as well work with them. We might as well let them keep doing what they're doing. We don't want to lose a few dollars. Here's another thing that Scavino put up. That's where I got that video of how many executive orders Trump passed. Okay, and Scavino put this, it's 5 across the top, 8 down the side, multiply 8 times 5, right? I remember back when I was learning how to cipher when I was at the one-room schoolhouse with Mrs. Roach. There was a teacher by that name, by the way. 8 times 5 is 45. So I guess the next day he'll do 47. I don't know. But that's a post Dan Scavino put out I thought was interesting. What's this one? President Trump has executed an executive order allowing the deportation of non-citizens, including foreign students, for supporting U.S.-designated terrorist organizations, Hamas and Hezbollah, on American soil. So it is written, so it shall be done. All these coups to see, they got to get their rear ends back to their home countries. Let's see. Prosecution. Oh, this is where the Afghan refugee tracked down an immigration caseworker at a Michigan home and used a knife. Okay, where I played that report. I got that report after I got Prosecution's report. Marjorie Taylor Greene, did you hear her talking to reporters? They keep asking all this momentous stuff that's going on, worldwide ramifications, and all they can talk about is J6. Is this all you really talk about, J6ers? How about the Biden family that got pardoned? The rapists, killers, murderers, Biden pardoned. That a focus at all? I'm not doing this. Y'all's obsession with J6 is effing tired of it. I'm serious. Biden pardons all these disgusting people, and everyone here has their panties in a wad because the J6ers got pardoned. People who walk through open doors. Seriously. Yeah. I didn't get that because of the curse word, but and some. I noticed this helicopter the other day. I said, man, that thing is a horse. It's not like the Marine one I remember. Did you see it there? That thing is huge. That's a flying bus. It says, 47 upgrade. President Trump gets a new helicopter to serve as Marine One. The VH-92A Patriot will now replace the VH-3D Sea King and the VH-60 M. White Hawk. Well, I'll be able to recognize this thing when it flies over my house. I've seen Air Force, Marine One. I've seen Marine One and escort helicopters, but they can't see me. Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What's this one? Oh. Speaking of Dr. Fauci, Rand Paul put this out. If there were ever any doubt who bears responsibility for the CVID pandemic, Biden's pardon of Fauci forever seals the deal. As chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, I will not rest until the entire truth of the cover-up is exposed. His pardon will only serve as an accelerant to pierce the veil of deception. Ignominious! Anthony Fauci will go down in history as the first government scientist to be preemptively pardoned of a crime. So according to him, it's only going to accelerate as an accelerant to pierce the veil of deception. He's not sleeping good. Here's Diamond and Silk again. These dummies are at it again. CNN launches new, gets immediately shut down. A new Trump administration means CNN will be doubling its efforts to find creative new ways to accuse the president and his supporters of harboring ideals of Germany's Third Reich. Well, you know, after this report came out, came another report within, I think, 12 hours that over 200 CNN workers were getting laid off. CNN put out an official program statement that they were going to adjust their programming to work better with a Trump White House. Then after that, Jim Acosta got the news that he's being scaled down, getting demoted and going to get a lot less face time on TV. Remember, I was wondering about what happened to Jim Acosta, and they probably wouldn't let him in the White House. Well, apparently I'm right. Donald Trump Jr. said, no more showing up to work one day a month. If you're going to collect a paycheck from the government, you actually have to show up to work. President Trump signs an order mandating federal workers to show up in person for work, unless you've been told to get the hell out and don't come back. Which a lot of them were told that. Unless we call you, you better show up. Trump should pardon D.C.'s good cops victimized by the DOJ. Police officer Terrence Sutton was sentenced to jail because a gang member passed away trying to escape the police. This was a guy they were trying to arrest, and he ran out and got hit by a car. A felon. Eluding the police, and they put the cop in jail because the moron couldn't even cross the street. Now they got to do something with this George Floyd business about him ODing, and they're blaming it on that cop. Mexican protesters pummel and burn a piñata outside the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City in response to new president's mass deportation plans. I'm not going to play a video of that, but the peso plummeted in value, okay? People were pulling these kind of stunts here, and the peso dropped in value. This president of Mexico, instead of coming out making smarmy comments, got out toot sweet and said, We have to find ways to work together. The Mexican president, you know, her name is Sylvia Bernstein-Insky or something like that. It don't sound Mexican, but who am I to judge? Here we go. This is good. Right here. This is a good one to put up. If you need to be preemptively pardoned, you belong in jail. How about that, Anthony Fauci? Oh my gosh. One more story. Well, I got more story, but I'm going to put this one up. This is terrible. You all heard about this? Along with the quarterback getting his house broken into by a bunch of characters from Chile. This happened earlier today. New York Post reported an American hiker was pew-pewed twice by suspected cartel terrorists near the U.S.-Mexico border. There they are, getting him on a helicopter, trying to save his life. But, you know, the dam has been released where people can start reporting on this kind of crap. And I was talking about how this grade school crap, this grade school jibber jabber that reporters use, they started this crap in the Obama administration and coming up with these terms. They have focus groups and undocumented migrants. Oh, okay, yeah. Don't let anybody say illegal immigrant. Okay, what else? How many genders are there? Oh, well, there are many. You know, they come up with all those freaking talking points. Well, here's DeSantis telling a reporter, and watch how he struggles to get it right. He's telling a reporter what the proper terminology is according to the federal government.
I just have 4 questions. One, Florida is home to hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants who are working in areas.
Well, you know, just to be, so the federal government has made clear that the statutory term, it's not they're illegal aliens. That's the statutory term, and that's what it is. And I think it's to try to water down. I mean, like undocumented, it's like if I get in my car and I forget my. But I mean, I still have a right to drive. I just made a mistake. This is intentional to come in illegally. And it's not just a question of missing a document. It's a question of, you know, you violated the law that were very clear, and knowingly, and with the help of the cartels in many cases.
So I'll rephrase that. So Florida is home to hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants who are illegal aliens, if you want to call it, who are working in areas of agriculture, farming, construction, hospitality. I'm just wondering, once we start to see, you know, these significant roundups of these people, is there a plan in place to help those industries, to prevent those industries from experiencing true hardship, financial hardship?
So here's what I'd say. They made the same arguments in 23 when we did our immigration, Cayenne Road. We did E-Verify. When you now, any of those industries, when they hire new people, they've got to verify their immigration status. Otherwise, they can't work. And people are not going to be able to.
Then they go to the picking crops crap, okay? That's what I'm going to start calling the picking. He shuts them down there, too, okay? So all their talking points about picking crops and undocumented, that kind of talk is going to stop. And I'm going to play this video the way Trump told the world today, how things are going to be. Remember what I said about tariffs, okay? That's how we used to fund this country. Nobody had to pay taxes. Nobody had to worry about somebody kicking their door in because they forgot to file or forgot to tell some blue-haired, skinny jean kid what they earned, okay? This is the way it's going to be. I'm going to play it to you all for you all on my way out. And I want to thank everybody who's given me a thumbs up and everybody who stopped by today. And I did get some more subscribers. I want to thank my new subscribers. And if you're not subscribed, why don't you do that and hit the notification bell? You'll know when I go live. So once again, I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me as we walk through history together. And I should be going live again tomorrow night. We're into a new, the last week of the month. Okay? So let me go ahead and play this video for you all. And we'll plan on meeting up tomorrow if Sadie says it's okay and everything goes all right. Here's what Trump is letting all the countries of the world know how it's going to be.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt.